Welcome to the John Clarence Gomez Show, Alvin.
Thank you very much, John.
This is my first question. What is the necessary theater, TNS? What is the necessary stage, TNS?
Yeah, the necessary stage it's about a theater company that in 1987 uh, really wanted to do original plays, plays that would reflect Singapore voice issues, social issues that concern the Singapore reality. We wanted to hear our our own voice on stage, the different languages that Singaporeans spoke, and Singlish. So when I was at the university in 1987, uh, I started the company and later was joined by Harish Sharma, who is the now the playwright of the company. And we started working together. And at that time in Singapore, there was no theatre study, so we used the subjects we were studying. Harish was studying language and literature. I was studying literature and sociology, and all these academic subjects we studied went into how we created Singaporean plays. Yeah, so that's what, in a short way, in a brief, what the necessary stage is all about.
How many shows do you produce? How many shows?
Oh, wow. Um, Harish has written over 100 shows, long and short ones. The shows comprise also works. There's the main season, there's international work, and there are also works that go to school and works with our theatre for seniors, and works with the community as well. Yeah, so we have different sorts of works, also interactive works, uh, works like forum theatre as well. Yeah, so altogether it's about 100 over works that he has written. I've directed most of his all almost all his plays. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, let's talk about the of your shows. What
Yes.
is let's talk about your shows. What is
Okay.
Actor 40?
What is art?
Actor 40.
Oh, Actor 40. Actor 40 is about uh, it's about an actor who is trying to uh, re, re, trying to find a new breath to her career at the age of 40. It's very difficult to find roles when you are a filmmaker. Yeah, so there is a show itself, a Chinese show about an actor trying to find her career uh, at 40 years old. So we have actor Yo Yan Yan, who was in theatre, and then she left theatre for a while to do a lot of films. So she wanted to return to the stage, and I had been talking to her, and then we started this project. And Harish, who's the playwright, then thought about the movie Actor 40. Actually, Yo Yan Yan brought it up. Yeah, and she was also having a child. Yeah, at 40. Uh, in the movie, it's the actress actually at 40. The son is already in the university. Yeah, that was in the 70s and 80s. Whereas today, a lot of women marrying later or having children later. So it's even more challenging when she's turning 40 and she's having a child to look after. So quite different from the role that she's acting, which is about an actress that is starting her career, restarting her career at 40. So it was basically a theatre show to welcome Yan Yan back to the stage and to show how wonderful an actress she is. Um, she can be a film actress. She excels on film. She excels on the stage as well. Yeah. So it was done in Mandarin, all in Chinese. The playwright and I do not speak Chinese. So we had to get the dramaturg and everyone else that was involved were bilingual. Yeah, so that even the actress Yo Yan Yan is bilingual. Yeah, so in that sense, we were able to understand when the play, goes into Mandarin. We were able to understand because the people involved were helping us in the play. So that is about Actor 40.
What is Balek Kampong?
Oh, Balik Kampung is about, wow, this is some time back. Uh, it's about a Singaporean who's left Singapore and has become a journalist and has come back to Singapore to write a story about a student who is non-Singaporean, but the student is uh, involved in some political matters lah. And she will get into trouble if you're a foreigner. Yeah, and this journalist who's a Singaporean, ex-Singaporean, who left the country and has come back to investigate, this kind of journalism, to write a story about it. Yeah, and she was detained by the internal security in Singapore, and she was asked a few questions. Yeah, yeah. So I guess we are looking at what is home and why is it difficult to understand that if we love the home, we would want to criticize the home in order for the country to improve. Yeah, but in Singapore, sometimes criticism is not taken in the right spirit. They feel that if you are a citizen, you shouldn't be criticizing the country. You should be grateful to the country. Yeah. So there's a lot of there's censorship still going on. Yeah. So Balik Kampung explore that kind of social issue about how being a citizen means that when you criticize the country doesn't mean you love it less, but because you want it to improve.
What is Frozen Angels?
Which one?
Frozen
Oh,
Angels. Frozen
oh, Frozen
Angels.
Angels. Frozen Angels was commissioned by biomedical ethics at NUS. Uh, it is about cloning, uh, yeah, and about uh, yeah, what happens in the near future when cloning is successful. Uh, you can clone and you can have stem cells, and it can repair a lot of ailments. Yeah, so it's projected into the future when the stem cells are found, like in shops, in satellite towns, and it's easily accessible. So we have one story where the father wants to have genetic engineering, he wants to have designer baby. He wants to design his baby. So his baby's DNA and all that is designed so that the baby will grow up without any genetic disorder, without any like diabetes or things like that. Yeah. and his mother is upset with him because his mother is saying that let God decide. Why are you playing God? When you were born, we accepted you as you are with all your weaknesses and your strengths. So why must you have a designer baby? And he believes that having a designer baby will mean that he loves his son or his child, right? His child will ask him if he doesn't design the gene. The child will say, "Why in a competitive world? Why did you not help me? By designing my genes." Yeah. So he wants to be a good parent, and he wants to make sure that the child is all okay and can compete in the modern world. So that's one story. Another story is about a mother who works in a cloning shop, stem cell shop. Okay, and her daughter has kidney failure, and he asked her boss to help her get a discount to get a new kidney for the daughter. And the boss asked for $25,000, and she said, "But that's the normal hospital. That's what the normal hospital charges. I am an employee, and why can't I get a discount?" And the boss said, "No, no, no. There's no discount for employees. You have to pay the same price." And she can't afford it, so the daughter dies. Yeah, and the boss comes to the wake, and the mother is upset. He say, "You come. Why do you want to come? It's too late." Yeah. Uh, so the story is trying to show that there can be scientific progress, but the economics and capitalism is in the equation. And if money features in the equation, that means only the rich can afford the treatment. So scientific progress doesn't benefit all in humanity. Scientific progress can only benefit the rich people. Then the third story is about a couple who is celebrating their 200th anniversary because of the cloning serum. They both of them are taking the medicine, and they live on and on and on. So they are celebrating the 200th wedding anniversary. On the 200th wedding anniversary, the wife says she wants to stop. She doesn't want to take the medication anymore because all their friends have died and only they are surviving artificially. So the husband understands, but the husband wants to continue. So they have to prepare what the husband will do after she dies off. Yeah, so it's quite a sad story. But the question is being asked that, if the time when cloning is successful, is monogamy relevant, right? Uh, can you only marry one person and live forever? Will monogamous relationships be relevant in the future? Yeah, so these are three stories that are compiled under Frozen Angels.
Do you have a new shows in this year, 2020? Do you have a new shows?
We had a show prepared for Singapore Arts Festival.
A
It
year of
also,
no return.
yeah, but we can't do it. It is postponed to next year because of COVID. We have two Filipinos involved. One is Rodolfo Vera, and the other one is Marcos, Marco. Sorry, yeah. Both are acting, but Roddy is the one that is also co-writing the play with our playwright Harish Sharma. So that play is about climate change. Now we have to revise the play because we have to include in the play the connection between climate change and the pandemic. Yeah, so having 1 year postponement can help us revise because it's a new work. We have to revise the play uh, to incorporate yeah, make it even more relevant.
What
We also had a play on off center, a short one that was done online. Uh, it was an interactive work and it was done online for students because it's the examination play. It's a play chosen by the schools for exam.
what is the difference of theater director and film director? Because I know that you are a theater director. What is the difference of theater director and film director?
I think theater director needs to be more collaborative. We have to work with the set design, the costume design, the music, and the playwright and the actors. Um, and we have to train together as well as discuss how the scene looks like. Whereas I think for film director, a lot of the decisions rest in the hands of the film director, especially during post-production work, right? They film all the footage, and then after that, it's the film director and the editor, right, that goes through the film and decides which footage to collate to curate into the final work. Whereas the theater director constantly have to work with the playwright, the stage manager, the actors, yeah, and it's a live show. It's not celluloid, yeah. So we have to take care if anything goes wrong during the run, and it's not non-stop, right? The actors come on and then it goes on live, and anything can go wrong when it goes on live. I think for the film director, you just make a decision and then it's caught on film and it is consistent, right? Every time you run the film, it's the same quality. Yeah, so the way you create the work, it's more secure and more stable. Whereas the theater director needs to turn up at all the runs, evaluate the run, give feedback to the actors, and then make some some correction for the next run, because it's live you can always be adjusting it.
So this is my last question before we end. What is your message to many theater director, and what is your tips to them?
Okay. My message is always, I think a lot of people in theater would know, but my message is basically always do what is in your heart. I always start my project with what disturbs me, right? What is something that I cannot solve easily. I have to start an investigation, so it become an art project. Yeah, and through the process, I do research, I read up, or I do field work. I interview people relevant to the project to get to know things better. I need to educate myself before I can put up a work of credibility, a work that my audience can believe in. So there's some things I know, but some things are out of my knowledge. That's where the research helps me, and I need to do the research with a lot of passion. And then from the research, I will know with the playwright, how to write the play, how to create the characters, what are the issues, and then the different viewpoints, right? Every time when you tell a story, there are different viewpoints, and it's important for me, it's important that all the viewpoints are in the work, and then you have all the conflict of the viewpoints. But what I like to do is not to tell the audience the answer, right? So that the audience can work out the answer themselves. Yeah, so that is what I would advise directors and practitioners working in theater. How do you do a work that is not exhibitionistic, that is not boastful of your knowledge, that is not just a one-way communication, that is not preachy, but the work should always be a dialogue between you and the audience, so that there's interaction as the audience is watching the play. They are engaged in a dialogue with you as a theatre practitioner through your work.
Thank you, Alvin, for guesting to my podcast.
Thank you very much, John. You will share with me the link.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.